More Seeds of Hope, Stories for Lent. Today's story seed is The Last Supper. From the Gospel of John, chapter 13, verses 8 and 9. Peter said to him, "You will never wash my feet." Jesus answered him, "Unless I wash you, you will have no inheritance with me." Simon Peter said to him, "Master, then not only my feet, but my hands and head as well." Listen to today's story seed. Gramma had been diagnosed with terminal cancer. While she still had the strength, she gathered her children and grandchildren to her house for dinner. Everyone pitched in. They helped to make the meal. They ate, laughed, cried, cleaned up, and lit the fire in the fireplace. Grandma was in her rocking chair. She had been thinking about this moment. She understood that this might be the last time she was together with her whole family. When everyone had a seat in the room, with difficulty, she stood up and said, "It's time for a drink." She took a glass off the tray and handed it to her son. Then she took another glass off the tray and handed it to one of her grandkids. When she turned to get yet another glass, all 17 people in the room seemed to have the same thought. Her son spoke up, "Mom, what are you doing? Sit down, we'll pass out the glasses." "No," she said. "You will stay seated. Be patient." Slowly, she hand-delivered a glass to each person. When they all had their glasses, she picked up a decanter of her plum wine. As she poured the wine into the first glass, she instructed, "Nobody drinks until everybody drinks." One by one, she put a bit of wine in each of the glasses. One time, as she moved across the room, she nearly fell. "That's enough," said her daughter. "Let us help. Have a seat." "I love you," said the mother, "and I know you mean well, but this is my job. And I want you to always remember this lesson. Sit down, my love." When everyone else had a drink, she poured herself a splash of the wine. "Raise your glasses," she said. "Here's to bringing love into the world." With those words, she put the glass to her lips and drank. Everyone else did the same. After that, seated in her chair, she smiled and said, "What can a dying woman say to her family so that they will always remember? I have found there is nothing more satisfying than serving others and sharing the simple pleasures of life. That's a taste I want you all to savor every day for the rest of your lives. Like Jesus, this grandmother is trying to convey what really matters. Today we celebrate the Last Supper. It's easy to imagine that Jesus carefully thought about what he wanted to say to his apostles. It's pretty clear that service to others is near the top of the list. He washed the feet of those at the table. Most of us embrace that. What is less clear is that we have to appreciate the gift of those who serve us. Peter seemed to be missing that part of the lesson. He says, "You will never wash my feet." We've been taught that it's better to give than receive. Like Peter, we want to be the ones to give. But without receiving, there is no giving. It wasn't long ago that Jesus received his feet being washed with tears and anointed with oil. We take turns doing both. At this moment, Jesus is about to give his life for us. He wants us to remember what's most important. Go ahead. Let your feet be washed, and be sure to accept the cup that comes when it's offered to you. Now, let's take 30 seconds to water the seed. What lesson of Jesus will you always remember?